This is Andre Damon reporting from Madison, Wisconsin in the third week of demonstrations here. Up to 50,000 people gathered in the Capitol Square yesterday, and thousands are continuing to protest today. Last week, Governor Scott Walker announced his proposal for the state budget, which includes billions of dollars in cuts to education and health care and the layoff of thousands of state employees.
Scott Walker gave $140 million worth of tax breaks to the corporations. And now they're saying that people like my friend Linda, who's here with me, who's an MPS teacher, have to pay for it. People who make $50,000 a year have to pay for billionaires. It's ridiculous. It's not fair. It's unjust.
What is the justification for that? There's no justification for cutting the taxes of billionaires and then turning around and saying that everybody has to pay the cost, everybody has to make cuts. Well, no, they don't. The uber rich are not making cuts. It's the people who are barely making ends meet that they're asking to make cuts. That makes no sense.
$1 billion coming out of our public education system is just awful. And that after tax cuts to the rich. It's just mind-boggling to me. I don't understand how anyone could think that's a good idea.
They want to take money away from nurses, money away from teachers, as if they cause this financial crisis. That doesn't make sense. I'm going to MATC. I can't afford to pay tuition there, and the tuition's going to rise. They're taking money away from everything.
My name is Carol, and I'm a retired teacher. The budget cuts aren't just about what's going to happen to the unions. I think you've heard about that from a lot of other people. But you also have a lot of people on Badger Care, which is a health care system that Wisconsin has been proud of to be able to help especially poor people to have at least some kind of decent health care.
He wants to get rid of Medicaid and Medicare eventually. That's his plan. Those are the most vulnerable people in our society. And what are they going to do without any health care? If we're not going to have state-provided or federally provided health care, how are these people going to get assistance?
What kind of a world am I going to leave for my children? I'm supposed to lay down on the ground and accept this? And leave my children to a world that's run by 400 rich people?
I was thinking, I woke up in the middle of the night, and I finally understand the French Revolution. I mean, I'm sorry, we've got flour. She didn't really say let them eat cake, but I do understand why the peasants and the lower middle class, whatever, revolted. I don't want to see a guillotine set up here, but I do understand why that French Revolution occurred. And you're seeing it here. This is the start.
Being students, seeing $834 million cuts to public education is not okay. Screw the rich if they aren't going to want to pay the money. If you had the money, you have to pay it.
I have serious concerns about how my children are going to grow up, what kind of jobs they're going to be able to get, how they're going to be able to send their own children to college, if they're ever going to be able to own a home, and how people are going to retire without having to live in their children's basement. I just don't understand how the math works out there. You come up here on the Capitol, you feel that sense of camaraderie, and I come back up here to regenerate. It's really depressing to go to work and be told you're the problem.
The Republicans want to take everything away from the working person. And if the Democrats roll over and they work with Scott Walker on this and they give up everything, the collective bargaining, all the pensions, the health care, the raises, then us workers have to stick together and unite and say we're not going to take this anymore.
I unfortunately think the only recourse we have left to us is a general strike. I've been saying this to myself for a few weeks now. If the teachers go, I'll go too. And I believe that we need some leadership. We just need somebody to give us the date and the time. And I think that we're ready to walk.